lateral movements, and the ability to flow smoothly throughout the crease allow an athletic goalie the ability to challenge an opponent's puck movement. Combining lateral movement with proper crease depth adds another layer of positional play that can frustrate opponents. Add squareness, proper angles, agility, vision, footwork, and high level of compete to your toolbox, and you'll be ready to move on to learning the intricacies of goalie IQ. Goalie IQ, or the advanced knowledge of the position, is what sets apart a great goalie from a good one. The skill sets needed to stop a puck are fundamental to the position, but knowing how to work with your team's breakout, when to get a whistle, when not to get a whistle, where to play the puck, studying your opponent, understanding geometry, and mastering communication are just some elements that goalies need to know aside from just knowing how to skate backward. Techniques such as chipping the puck out of play versus playing the puck into the corner displays your awareness of the game situation. Sometimes it might be best to keep the play alive, and other times it might be best to cover up, get a stoppage of play, and allow your coach to make a line change. Other game situations might dictate the goalie to want to run out the clock by keeping the play alive. Ultimately, stopping goals and keeping the puck out of the net is the goalie's primary job, but since hockey is a team sport, it is of utmost importance to know the flow of the game, understand what the game situation is, and to even be a part of the team's offensive and defensive strategy. Combining strong crease control, solid fundamentals, and higher goalie IQ, you will discover more success in competition. Close-range drills require a goalie to possess strong coverage skills and quick reflexes. With proper positioning, a goalie's movements should remain minimal. Here, there is no need for the goalie to shift his blocker more than a few inches because he is squarely in position. In this drill, the goalie is asked to come off the post, make a quick read, square up to the puck, and rely on strong positioning to make the save. Watch as he maintains his ground, maintains control, and maintains composure without having to scramble wildly to make the save. In the upcoming shot, the shooter scores in the only open space available, past his ear. The key is to keep the hands out, shoulders big, and knees tight on the butterfly. This is the same drill, but from the opposite angle. It is of utmost importance that the goalie forcefully drives his knees to the ice while maintaining the largest posture as possible. From this camera angle, it is easy to see that the goalie's hands are up and out in front of him. If we watch closely, his eyes move first, which causes his head to follow, then his shoulders and core, and then his hands. This process ensures that his final position is squared up to the shooter and that his reaction distance is minimized. Here we will watch the same fundamental drill, but this time the shooter will crash the net. Fundamentally, the shot is being released from the same close-range area, but the goalie will need to be ready to react with a strong push-off in case the skater drives toward the slot. Rebound control is an added component to this drill in order to keep the shooter from taking multiple shots. The goalie's lateral movements are worked into the next phase of this close-range drill. Keeping and maintaining a squared-off goalie stance becomes more difficult when the shooter is given the opportunity to step into the slot to broaden his shooting angle. An uninhibited shooter will gain an advantage on the goalie from the slot position because the shooting angles are at the optimum level. As a shooter is forced wider outside and deeper into the corner lessens the shooting angle, but might expose more backside opportunities for other goal scorers. Visualization. It's a powerful tool for helping goalies get focused before a game, but it can also be used during practice. Here we see Owen visualizing scenarios. Goalies don't just simply skate around the crease in drills like the one seen here. They are imagining game scenarios and pretending to observe and react to puck movement. Oftentimes, goalie coaches will set up cones or place numbered markers to indicate where they want the goalie to skate to. But what the coach is really trying to achieve is to recreate the natural rhythm and flow of a game. When we watch Owen's eyes, he is imagining making a read on the play. He visualizes passes. He pretends opponents are in the slot. He sees this drill as a game day scenario, and with the help from the coach, he extends his blocker and makes the save. Visualization is a powerful tool to prepare your mindset for a game, as you can control your thoughts and envision making every type of save you might face. Technicalities such as shuffling, stick on the ice, and hands out should be second nature so that the goalie's focus can remain on the higher level of play. But what is the higher level of play? Beyond the fundamentals of C-cuts, T-pushes, shuffling, or dropping down into a butterfly position, goalies need to also work on their mindset, tactical gameplay scenarios, and overall hockey IQ. Goalies must actively engage in every aspect of the game of hockey. They must know how the breakout works. They must know how to handle a defensive zone faceoff. Visualization can help a goalie achieve these things because it keeps them engaged in the overall game. In the next series of clips, we will examine ice-level glove side saves and watch the visualization process leading up to making the actual save. Before we can even talk about making the glove save, many elements take place prior to the puck finding its way into the goalie trapper. Watch closely as Owen's head and eyes lead his torso and hands to where the puck will eventually be shot from. The next movement, following the head and eyes, will be the torso, which will then be pushed across the ice with the skates and legs. Watch as Owen visualizes giving up a rebound to a shooter on his weak side. Since pucks are rarely shot from a singular stagnant position on the ice, this drill incorporates the concept of visualization as Owen pretends to watch the puck pass through the slot and over to the shooter. Again, watch his eyes and head guide his hands where to go. Of course, not all pucks will find their way into the pocket of the glove on glove side shots, which is why leading with the eyes is so important. Whether on the blocker side or the glove side, a goalie might have to resort to making a stick save, pad save, or poke check. But it cannot be stated enough. The eyes must lead the goalie's movement to where he or she needs to be. Vision is key to tracking the puck and assessing its angle. Variations in depth, angle, and trajectory give the opponent an edge over the goalie, and these factors are the most crucial for a goalie to consider. But don't forget to have fun while doing it. The age and size of the goalie always need to be considered when discussing crease movement, depth, stance, and style of play. A skill such as directional control can be taught at any age, but the approach of teaching a goalie to stand tall and play big can be quite different when teaching a 4-foot-tall youth hockey goalie compared to a 6-foot-tall pro. Consider the obvious differences of an NHL-sized goalie and a peewee goalie. Their eyesight is at different elevations, their shoulders are at different elevations compared to the crossbar, and their leg spans differ from post to post. As they assess the face-off at the dots, a tall goalie and a shorter goalie will have variations in the open net behind them. But this doesn't necessarily mean fundamentals have to change based on goalie size. Depth in crease is probably the technique with the most tension when working with smaller children versus adult goalies. The good, the bad, and the ugly goalie assessments. For every good play we assess, we should also assess the bad and the ugly plays as a tool for evaluating, learning, and developing. Just because the shot didn't end up being a goal for the opponent doesn't mean that the goalie did everything perfect and that there is not room for growth, as seen here where Owen bobbles the puck and allows a rebound. As we go through this section, you will see blue font at the bottom of the screen to indicate what was done properly, but what you will hear is more of a critique of what the goalie could have done better. For example, the goalie fails to shuffle to his left on this play and doesn't stay square to the shooter. Here we see a lot of stick movement in his 5-hole. At the start of this clip, he turns his right skate inward, but he does a good job of getting an explosive lateral push. Here, he needs to work on getting to his post more quickly. This time, his left toe points inward as he shuffles to his left. But let's keep things positive too and watch some good moments before getting back to the critique. The redirection on this play is absurd, but great spatial awareness in a tight crease made for the best save of this segment. Let's watch some more highlights. Okay, in this clip, it would have been nice to see him get the glove save and get a stoppage of play. In this clip, there is no backward trajectory as the shooter enters the zone. There is a slight overslide on his push in this clip, and he falls onto his belly. Not much to critique here, so let's move on. This should have been a stick save instead of a pad save, so hopefully you get the point that there is always room for improvement.
Examining goaltending scenarios. Situation 1. On this glove save drill, watch the elevation of the goalie's head compared to his glove. As the head and shoulders drop down, the glove hand goes up. Watch how the white dotted lines cross paths. Again, shoulders drop downward as glove rises upward. In a game situation, dropping down during a screen or tip shot situation is okay, as seen here. But with clear visibility, the glove should not be rising while the shoulders are dropping. Stay big, play big. Here is another example of the goalie dropping down too early. He starts out in great position with his depth and his angle. But as we see, his torso lowers as the glove goes upward. Here is a good example of the goalie's head, shoulders, and glove properly in sync. His glove is up and out, and his eyes watch the puck into the glove. Scenario 2. Here we will examine oversliding, edge work, and crease movement. A strong T-push should be enough to move from the top of the crease to the post, depending on the age of the goalie. But in this example, the goalie overslides. During normal gameplay, sliding this far out of the crease puts the goalie out of position. Only on a penalty shot is it advisable to slide this far out of the crease. Here, the goalie loses his edge, but he makes up for it with a little fun with coach.
Breaking down 3 goals, 1 rule, and 2 highlights. We'll start with a power play goal where the goalie directs the initial shot into the far corner. As the defensemen regroup, the puck goes out to the point where the opponent has ample time to skate the puck toward the circle. This maneuver creates a 4-person screen that ends up with a great tip-in redirection goal. This happens at all levels of hockey, so all you can do is focus on your next shot. In this next clip, we see the goalie play the 2-on-1 breakaway shot by taking the primary shooter and letting his D-man cover the backdoor skater. Here is a similar play where the goalie takes the primary shooter, but is slightly late tracking the last second pass. Ideally, his T-push into his butterfly slide would occur a split second earlier. Here we will look at another 5-on-3 power play tip-in goal. Not only is the goalie screened by the opponents, but also, both forwards get their sticks in position for a great redirected goal. Up next is an example of familiarizing yourself with different rules from country to country. In the United States, this would be an automatic icing call, but in Canada, they play by NHL rules. We'll finish up by looking at 2 highlight saves. The first is a relatively simple-looking blocker save, but through a screen and with 2 minutes to go in the game, it ended up being a big save thanks to strong fundamentals. Finally, let's admire this kick save. After being smothered, the goalie regains position and makes a terrific game-saving stop. In the first clip, the center and the right winger play tic-tac-toe, while the left winger skates into the slot to create havoc. The goalie did the right thing by taking away the shot of the open right winger, and he also did a great job of tracking the puck and T-pushing to make the backside save up at the top of his crease. The second clip is similar in that the wingers created a flyby tactical screen, while the center took the shot. Despite losing sight of the puck for a brief moment, he used intuition that the shot might go glove side. Here in this third clip, we will look at a layered screen where 4 athletes are aligned between the goalie's eyes and the puck. When we watch this clip, we can see the goalie stretch to maintain vision as long as possible before he is completely screened. As the shot is released, the goalie knows that the right side of his net is vulnerable. Therefore, he flashes his glove to make a blind attempt at the save. Making things more difficult, it appears that number 88 redirected the puck over the goalie's glove. What we see here are 2 forwards who managed to get past the defenseman and a goalie who is able to buy time long enough to allow his teammates to get back to assist him. The most crucial decision that the goalie makes is to commit to the primary shooter 100%, allowing his defenseman time to cover the backside skater. When we watch it again, pay attention to how the goalie takes away the right winger's shot and forces the pass to the left winger, which gives his team a fighting chance. In the next clip, you will see a tremendous effort by the forward, the defenseman, and the goalie, who is able to track the puck into his glove while being pressured. Watch as he maintains eye contact on the puck while being driven into, while remaining laser-focused on making the save. Focus, positioning, patience, and perseverance are what make these 2 clips interesting to examine.
As a goalie, approach your stick time session with the same focus, routine, and intensity as you would for a team practice or a game. Be sure to allocate time to work on your stick handling, T-pushes, C-cuts, and skating skills. If you don't have a quality shooter, utilize visualization techniques to see the puck into your glove, or simply imagine yourself making a breakaway save. Watch how this goalie visualizes an imaginary shot coming from the far side. But keep in mind, stick time should be a mixture of work and fun. As mentioned, prepare for your stick time session in the same way that you would prepare for a game. After stretching, hunt down the best shooter on the ice and challenge yourself to rise to his or her level. Just like in your team practice, have the shooter warm you up with glove side shots and blocker side shots. Once you're properly warmed up, move on to facing more advanced shots from the best shooter on the ice who is willing to shoot on you.
An untimely line change for the red team resulted in a 3-on-2 breakaway, but the two defensemen did a good job of taking away the pass and letting the goalie challenge the primary shooter. As the goalie T-pushes across the crease for the wraparound attempt, he also uses his paddle to take away the centering pass to the slot. Most importantly, he quickly pops back up and keeps his eyes on the puck throughout the screen. Despite losing sight of the puck, he knows the trajectory and the general location to put his glove. Try to count the amount of times the goalie has to read and react to the puck, changing its course of direction during this 6-second sequence. Analyzing shootouts can be very difficult since the shooter tends to utilize an array of options such as dekes, speeds, and patience as they enter the zone. The first element of facing a penalty shot is that a goalie has to start out with their skates on the goal line until the skater touches the puck. From here, the goalie will want to pull up out of his net, and as a general tactic, get his skates on the outer section of the crease, but not all the way out to the hash marks. An NHL-sized goalie might put his heels right on the outer edge of the crease, whereas a smaller goalie might need to pull up even more, but only if he or she can get back to their post quickly. As the shooter makes his way to the hash, the goalie should now be inside the crease, and once the shot is taken, he should be able to push to his post before the puck has a chance of getting there. Glove saves, blocker saves, and kick saves aren't the only noteworthy highlight maneuvers goalies make, as you probably know. Sometimes it's the smaller details that make highlight reels interesting, and those details end up being quite effective in keeping the puck out of the net. As we see here on this pass to the slot, the positioning and the angle of the goalie's stick strategically disrupts the pass. Also noteworthy is how quickly the goalie pops up to his ready stance in anticipation of the next shot. In the next clip, another detail can be scrutinized. On a routine dump and chase, watch how the goalie uses his pad as a secondary backstop to his stick. Even in the NHL, goalies often whiff on the puck, so it's smart to utilize your leg and body to safeguard yourself from a bad bounce. It's also important to note that the goalie directs to puck away from the opponents, but still pops back up quickly to get into his goalie stance. Facing the rising shot is not easy for a goalie. For a shot outside the hash or dots, the goalie should be in ready position with their blocker and glove out in front of them. Here, Owen starts out in perfect position. However, watch his blocker come inward toward his armpit, instead of moving outward in a punching position. The rising shot also leads to tipped shots and redirections. To battle this, a goalie must remain square to the puck and stay on angle. Furthermore, a goalie must play big and not automatically drop to his butterfly the moment the shot is taken. If the rising shot does get batted down, the goalie must instantly react and shift from a save stance to a blocking stance as the puck bounces around the crease. Footwork, agility, reaction time, athleticism, crease control, and the intuition to compete are the tools the goalie must use when the controlled elements of the game transform into a scramble. Breaking down the anatomy of an odd man rush. An untimely line change for the red team resulted in a 3-on-2 breakaway, but the two defensemen did a good job of taking away the pass and letting the goalie challenge the primary shooter. As the goalie T-pushes across the crease for the wraparound attempt, he also uses his paddle to take away the centering pass to the slot. Most importantly, he quickly pops back up and keeps his eyes on the puck throughout the screen. Despite losing sight of the puck, he knows the trajectory and the general location to put his glove. Because of the screen, he has no vision, but he still flashes adequate net coverage as the puck moves around the offensive zone. Try to count the amount of times the goalie has to read and react to the puck, changing its course of direction during this 6-second sequence. Like all hockey players, goalies must master the craft of stick handling, passing, and playing the puck. Watch as Owen utilizes his stick in different game situations. Whether it's to clear the crease, put the puck into a safe area on the ice, or quickly move the puck up ice, goalies have to make clear and precise decisions when handling the puck. The following examples are a study of goalie movement within the crease and can help a goalie visualize crease depth, angles, and lateral motion. Pay attention to ice-level actions as it relates to the goalie's positioning in relation to both the left and right posts. The first movement from the top of the left crease to the top of the right crease protects against ice-level shots. The second movement is a shuffle from the top of the crease back toward the post. This time, pay attention to the blue arch. This arch correlates to the coverage of the upper part of the net. As the goalie drops down, the arch gets smaller, indicating that the open net behind him gets bigger. The smaller the arch, the more open net will appear to the shooter. The bigger the arch, the less open net in relation to where the puck is. Finally, we'll look at goalie mechanics by looking at the goalie's head and eyes. Before any crease actions are made, the goalie's head will move first, as seen here. A goalie playing in a crowded crease faces many challenges, including deflections, bouncing pucks, and tricky redirections. To combat this, goalies have to decide if they should be in a safe stance, a blocking stance, or a mid-range stance. Goalies must also know how to transition between a layered stance and a butterfly stance, and when to incorporate the RVH and the VH when the puck is in the flanks. But most importantly, battling like we see here is the compete level that all goalies must possess. When the crease and the low slot, or area below the hash marks, becomes clustered, goalies have to battle against sticks, opponents, and even teammates in order to own and control the crease. For this reason, communication is vitally important so that the defensemen know if they are screening the goalie or if there is a backside opponent who needs to be covered. A crowded crease can best be won by the goalie by mastering the skill of reducing rebounds and learning direction control. Here is an older video of Owen when he was 12 as he works on his posts. Whether your shoulders only come halfway up the post, or if you are a larger goalie and your shoulders come up closer to the top of the post while in the butterfly, the fundamentals of post work remain the same. Gaps any wider than the width of a puck will equate to goals more often than expected, which is why you must always return to your post after giving up a rebound into the corner. This is called tracking your rebound, and it is not optional. You must form this habit in practice so that it becomes automatic during games. Remember, goalie IQ is an elite talent that goes beyond fundamentals, so forming strong fundamentals early will be able to free up your goalie IQ mindset as you develop your game. In these older clips of Owen, we can see certain fundamentals cloud his focus and press his physical abilities. This, of course, is normal development as a goalie hones his craft. We've seen him take 2 pushes to get across the crease. We've seen him adjust his glove mid-shot, and we've seen him miss his post in this segment. But what matters is that he's coachable, he's battling through the drill, and he's not getting frustrated. As he continues to work on his posts and wraparound shots, we also see sparks of Owen flashing quickness, fight, and physical abilities. By constantly working hard, putting in the time, and embracing the process of learning, you will see growth in your game. It will then be time for new pads, and you'll have to adjust to the bulkier sizes as Owen is doing here. But the payoff will come when all these fundamentals become automatic and you can begin learning the next level of goalie development throughout the ongoing process. If you love it, stick with it. The process won't always be fun or easy. Some coaches yell a lot. Some teammates think losses are your fault. Some parents think you should have made that save. Sometimes you'll get pulled. Sometimes you'll throw up from overexertion. But other times you'll be the hero of the game. You'll win a team championship and you'll feel great while doing it. That's what it means to be a hockey goalie.